Apple just announced the AirPods 3. What are you excited for? What are you excited for?
Nothing. And I don't mean the earbuds. I'm not excited for anything at all, actually. $199 for what? What do you get? There's no ANC, and that's a huge portion of true wireless earbuds. I mean, why did we even pre-order them?
Well, we are a YouTube channel and we kind of review those things, but for seriously, I mean, I wouldn't spend 199 euros, which we spent as a channel on this, or $179 in the US.
So we did it for you guys.
Yeah.
So you get our opinion on these buds. We don't have them yet.
Yeah.
We're gonna get them very, very soon. But like I said, there is no active noise canceling for 199 bucks. Very disappointing. I mean, there's not much to say if it doesn't have it. So, but is there something you're excited about then?
Yeah. Well, there's no active noise cancelling. You're right about that. And the AirPods Pro come with active noise cancelling, and they're not so far out in terms of price.
Not sure how the pricing strategy worked there, but for a couple of tenors extra, you get the Pro. So don't see any reason to get the 3 already.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, but you did ask me what I was excited for. Whenever I see the word driver, I get excited, and that's not because I like cars, but Apple did talk about a custom driver, which actually doesn't make much of a difference in like open air earphones, because you know there's so much distance between your ears and the actual speakers, like this old AirPods 2 that we have here, that you cannot guarantee a good seal, you cannot guarantee consistency of sound. But they talked about adaptive EQ to combat that, which means depending on your ear shape and how far the earbuds are from your inner ear, it compensates for that by changing the EQ in real time. And they have the H1 chip as well, so that might be something.
And because we have kind of similar ears, but they're not the same, it would adapt. So I would have a different EQ setting compared to yours then. So
in real time.
In real time.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So many times a second it would adjust the EQ, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So as my ears morph and evolve, they will evolve with them. Or what you do notice is that the tips are very similar to the original AirPods or the AirPods 2, and don't come with silicone tips, unlike the AirPods Pro. So what that means is they're not really in your ear canal, they're just kind of sitting on your concha as the AirPods 2 or the original AirPods was, which might be a good thing to some people who don't like that feeling of it being, you know, clogged up or too deep in your ear. Or never got a good fit with the Pro. It also means your fit might not be great, and that's something I struggled with the original AirPods and the AirPods 2, was that they just wouldn't stay in place. I don't know how it was for you. Did you have a good experience with those?
Well, if I didn't do too much of vigorous movement, it was okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything beyond a little bit of a head shake, it would not pass the banana test.
No. So yeah, apart from that, the other thing that I might be remotely kind of interested in knowing is, you know, me being in the ecosystem a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, okay, kind of a lot.
Completely.
Okay.
Apple fanboy.
Here we go. But still, I want to know how they connect to a MacBook, for example, and how they switch to an iPhone, vice versa, or even to the Apple Watch. Okay, there we go. Just revealed my ecosystem. AirPods Pro have been okay.
Yeah.
With switching, but they haven't always been flawless to hand over from one device to the other. So I'm curious if they've done any upgrades to that.
I am also curious about the dimensions, because it is a very AirPods Pro-like case, right? So this is kind of like what the AirPods Pro looks like. It won't have the tips, but they are a bit smaller, which is something Apple didn't really advertise. But when you compare the dimensions, they turn out to be a bit smaller and a bit lighter than the AirPods Pro, which kind of makes sense. They have less tech than the AirPods Pro have in them. But that's also very important, because portability is one of the main reasons to buy, you know, in-ears.
We're all making so many more phone calls these days, so as being fuckmen, or fuckmannen, however you want to call it, we are usually interested in phone calls because we use it for work and a lot of other things. So how do they sound for phone calls? There's a lot of other things.
No.
The iPlug.
But
no, for phone calls, how do they sound? We don't know. We're gonna do our environment test, you know, the quiet, the windy, and the noisy.
Yeah. And if there's one thing you could relatively guarantee with these, would be the phone calls, because Apple from generation 1 has nailed phone calls.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't shock me that they have decent phone calls.
Yeah.
Because
But there is some competition now that we've seen from some of the buds, so they're no longer the gold standard, but they're a good reference. Hopefully they've upped their game.
Yeah. And they bring MagSafe charging.
Oh yeah.
That is the charging circle wireless thingy that Apple has, but it still has Qi wireless charging. So in case you're wondering, oh, will my old Qi chargers work? Yes, they absolutely will. The first AirPods didn't have wireless charging. Generation 2 had wireless charging.
That's true.
That means all AirPods now from Apple have wireless charging.
Yeah.
It just comes standard.
Yeah, and apart from charging, I think controls are... I mean, it's not revolutionary or new. I mean, the AirPods Pro did have a huge upgrade when it came to controls compared to the older AirPods, because it was to control those, because it was a touch surface that was somewhere mysteriously somewhere on the stem tip, whatever, and it was always so bad. Yeah, it was always a gamble whether you hit it or not. The AirPods Pro really did a good job with that pressure sensitive stems. And that's what they're bringing to the AirPods 3 as well. So I think controls are going to be a safe bet, much more comfortable to use. But what is interesting to see is if they're going to add any extra controls. So AirPods never had volume controls. Curious if that's going to be part of it. I don't think so, to be honest, but it would be nice.
Yeah. It also almost feels like they're operating in a vacuum, because last week on the channel we reviewed the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro, which is insane value for sub 150, and it's got everything, right? Noise cancelling, customized hearing, everything. Yeah. Apple just doesn't seem to care. They just said, oh, you know what, 200 euros, we just dropped this new thing in there with basically no features. But that's how Apple operates, and that's how some people get stuck in the ecosystem. So we don't expect too much, but we will try to keep an unbiased, open mind, and when it comes in next week, you will hear from us. So.
Yeah. And if there's anything that we missed out on, or specific things you guys want to know, or what you think is worth comparing to, since these don't have noise cancelling, a lot of things we compare or review are with noise cancelling. Give us some, give us some tips, suggestions in the comments down below.
You've been suggesting in the comments,
and we've been DHRME.
Namaste. Okay, good.
That did the job. Do they charge each other now? Or?
Reverse charge.
Reverse charge.
They probably suck out charge.
Yeah, exactly.